Hey guys, this is Yoda. This video will explain some of the extra things people have been doing in 10.1.7 to make their character stronger. Some of these will be considered legit, quote unquote, and some would be considered exploits in my opinion. So the first thing we'll talk about is the Winter Reveler buff. So if you're under the Mistletoe, you don't really have to be under the Mistletoe. When you type /kiss, targeting any of these Winter Revelers, you can get some items. So one item you can get is Fresh Holly, which basically makes your mount more festive. Doesn't really do anything for dungeons. This item, however, Mistletoe, can also be granted. It's like random, I think, one over the other. I haven't seen any other items, but if you use this on an ally, you cannot use it on yourself. That ally gets 1472 verse, which equates to about 2%, depending on how much they already have. And it stays on in dungeons and raids, so people have been using this. I think a world first 19 Siege was recently timed using this. No one knows if it's actually an exploit because, Blizzard clearly put this in the game and they intended people to actually use it. Whether or not it's supposed to stay out in dungeons, who knows at this point. But yeah, that's the Mistletoe thing. Then there's also the ring. So if you notice, my ring is 649 when we're supposed to have 645 this week. That is because, at least in the first week, I don't know if this is fixed right now, if you transfer server or transfer faction, then your ring basically told itself that it is on catch-up, so you could loot raw seeking citrines from rares on the island. So a lot of people who faction or server transfer just have 1 week more progressed on their ring. Not sure if that's still in the game. There is another thing you could do, which I would consider an exploit. Definitely don't do this unless you want to get banned. If you were eligible to loot a raw seeking citrine, so either like your ring was 642 this week, or you triggered the catch up and you're eligible to loot one, and you had full bags and you got a raw seeking citrine sent to your mailbox, then it didn't count as looting one, so you could just continually kill rares and perma loot them, which is how some people have is like a super high idle ring, 658. Definitely don't do that unless you want to get banned. But yeah, that is why my ring is 649 and why some people on public logs have 658 ring. There's another thing people have been doing, which has kind of been in the game forever, which is getting follower dungeon buffs. So if you enter a follower dungeon or story mode Queen Ansarek, story mode Queen Ansarek is an Ajkajet follower dungeon you can just queue for like this, and you leave at the correct time. So we'll do that on the follower dungeon right now. Then you can leave with a raid buff, and that raid buff stays on. We'll just demo it here real quick. I might not get the timer right. If I don't get it, I'm not going to try it again. So basically, queue for follower dungeon, you pre-queue, leave instance group, wait for them to be about to apply the buff, and then you click. I think I mistimed it. Yeah, I mistimed it. But the trick is, there's a slight gap between leaving the instance group and getting teleported out. Your buffs get purged when you leave instance group, but they don't get purged when you get teleported out. So you need them to apply the raid buff between leaving the instance group and getting teleported out. That I would also definitely consider cheating. Don't do that unless you want to get banned. One singing citrine on the ring and the holiday buff I would consider like probably borderline, but not bannable, since people have already been doing that on stream. But any of the other stuff I would definitely not do. Just consider this a bug report if you're Blizzard. Alright, thank you for watching. Peace out.